Welcome to la chaîne Géopolitique. Welcome to those passionate of geopolitics. In the early hours on Friday, a ceasefire has entered into force between the armed groups in Gaza and the Israeli army. And we raise the question in this video, how long this ceasefire will last. As we said, ceasefires has entered at 2 a.m. local time on a Friday between the armed group in Gaza and the Israeli army. So after 11 days of intensive fighting, both parties have decided to reach an unconditional ceasefire. So meaning that no condition, no strings are attached to this ceasefire. So from the Israeli side, it means that we do not require the transfer of the body of the dead Israeli soldiers who died in 2014, and it's still held since that time by the armed groups in Gaza, nor from the Gaza side. We didn't ask any condition about the status or the status of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So it means that both parties just wanted to end those fightings due to the fact that from the Israeli side, the increasing pressure from the United States became too strong to continue the war, and from the Gazawi side, the death toll became too high in order to stop those fighting. Be aware that around 200 combatants from the armed groups in Gaza died, plus around 66 children. So around around 260-70 people died from the Gaza side and 12 from the Israeli side. Also, some other figures, very interesting figures to keep in mind, is that 4,400 rockets have been sent to Israel over those 11 days of fighting, and 1,500 airstrikes have been conducted on the Gazawi, on the Gazan territory. So both parties claim victory after the ceasefire. It's worth noting that for the first time, as far as I know, the armed group in Gaza celebrated a military parade, showing to the inhabitants of Gaza that they won this war. Because for them it's very important. It has been crucial that they were able to send so many rockets, and that they were able also to stop the production of the gas field, the Tamar, that they also hit the pipeline between Egypt and Israel. So they showed that they have some technological capabilities that they didn't show previously. Also the fact that they are able to send barrage of rockets of 130 rockets towards Tel Aviv has been, unprecedented. I mean, they were during the previous wars they were not able to send so many rockets at the same time and moreover towards Tel Aviv. So it shows that unquestionably Hamas and also to some extent Jihad Islamic reach some technological capabilities that they didn't show previously, and that it's a major victory for Hamas. From the Israeli side, we claim victory due to the fact that a lot of combatants have been killed during those fightings, more than 200, sorry. Among them 25 commanders, like Bassem Issa, like the commander of the Brigade Marty of Al-Aqsa of Gaza, of the Gaza region, died, as well as commander of Jihad Islamic, Hussam Abu Khabid. So that's the major claims from the Israeli side. but also it's not a full victory, even though it's just it has been impliedly said like that. I mean, due to the fact that the defense minister Benny Gantz admitted that this operation did not allow to carry out to kill Mohammed Def, the chief of the brigade of the Al-Aqsa Brigade. So we and also they didn't succeed in killing Yahya Sinwar, the head of the political branch of Hamas. They hit his house, but he was not there. So it shows that some targets that that Israel wanted to kill did not succeed. And so it shows that probably it shows a lot of frustration from the Israeli side. Even yesterday, the finance minister, Mr. Katz, said that we will cut off the entire Hamas. That's the wording used by the Mr. Katz, the finance minister. So it shows that this operation from the Israeli side has not been a full success, and to reach this full success for them, probably it requires another military operation. And from the Hamas side, it shows also that we want to use all our technological capabilities to defeat Israel, and probably now this war has allowed Hamas to gain some popularity. So I would like to remind that just this Thursday, 22nd of May, we should have celebrated, let's say like that, the holding of election in the Palestinian territory. Instead of holding an election, war occurred. So it shows that now it's not time for democratic process in the Palestinian territory, but probably for another armed confrontation. Many people talk about third intifada. I think nowadays, I think Palestinians reach technological capabilities that now means that intifadas or the stone war against Israel is totally out of date concept. And nowadays, in 2021, the Palestinian group understand that the only way of defeating Israel is not through stones or through peaceful march, like it was the case in 2018 in Gaza, and which resulted in bloodshed for a lot of Gazan people. 200 people died in those march. Nowadays, only rockets and let's say war confrontation and a showdown against Israel is the only answer for them to the lifting of the blockade. So we see that from both sides, we feel that it's clearly not a truce. It's only a ceasefire. It's just a way for the Hamas and Jihad Islamic to replenish, let's say, their supplies, their rockets, to let's say, to get new financing through the Egypt border, because we learned yesterday through the Reuters press agency that nowadays Egypt is wielding a lot of influence on Hamas due to the fact that the checkpoint of Rafah between Egypt and the Gaza Strip is now a key point for transiting goods, but also food and also some weapons. Probably some tunnel, as far as we remember, since Sisi, the Marshal Sisi, came to power in July 2013 after overthrowing a coup. We should keep in mind that he flooded all the tunnel between Egypt and Gaza. But nowadays, it seems that Sisi play a different role, and he understands that it doesn't worth entering into war against Hamas in Gaza, but instead playing a pragmatic role, let's say, letting all those goods entering into Gaza, including weapons, financing. So we know that a lot of Iranian diplomats or visitors are coming to Egypt to bring some financing to Hamas. And also at the same time, Israel do not question the agreement with Qatar, allowing that some financing, let's say, the civil servant uh, of Gaza. But we know that probably some of this Qatari money is siphoned off to, let's say, to finance a military operation and and to pay the salary of combatants. So what we know is that for now from the Hamas side, the improving ties between diplomatic ties between Turkey and Egypt and between Qatar and Egypt uh, allows now to get some supplies from Egypt, including weapons, and those weapons will help to lead a new war against Israel. So we see that there is now a very favorable regional collaboration, understanding relation that allows, let's say, that a new war could be held very soon due to the fact that Hamas has now, let's say, capabilities in terms of manufacturing all those weapons, and all of that plays, or let's say, play for a quick resumption of hostilities very soon in the region. So probably this ceasefire is not a truce, but simply a ceasefire, which we can expect will last just for days or maximum for months. Probably also another factor who could play in favor of a resumption of hostilities is the instability in Israel. The fact that the country is not able to form a government is also another is a factor which plays in favor of a war. Probably some people would say cynically that Prime Minister Netanyahu decided to go to war to Gaza just because he was not able to form a government. So we will see how long will last this ceasefire. But personally, I bet that this ceasefire is just a matter of days or not more than weeks.